Hi, good morning, everyone. Very warm welcome to the Science of Mind Club. And today we continue our Mindfulness Meditation Masterclass. Class has been receiving a lot of positive feedback, and people are getting those mindful takeaways. And I'm happy that we are going to share one more very important concept in this series to continue it. And this is something which is really close to my heart, and we'll get straight into the topic following our ritual. Yeah, so we share some positive thoughts. So, giving is a great source of joy. Means whenever we give or share something, feel that joy. And I can vouch for it because whenever I have shared something with anybody, or when somebody shares, or when one of people I admire, they share something with me, I think that joy is pure, and we get a lot of learnings in that process. We get a lot of fulfillment, happiness. So it's the joy of giving, which we want to practice today. So taking this thought chain further, something we have to always remember it is that we are enough. We have enough. It's not that, like one person said that I'll only start giving or sharing when I get a lot of it in abundance. It's not like that. Sometimes all you need is enough. And this also brings another thought that enough is a decision, enough is not an amount, but it's a decision. You can decide anytime. One of the coaches whom I really admire, I was on call in discussion with him, and he said that there was a study done, and it was found that how much money somebody would need to lead the life comfortably. And the answer in that survey was very surprising, that study, and it was that enough. Whenever a person feels that they have enough, that is where they can stop. So enough is mostly about a state of mind which is being in contentment, being in satisfaction, and being in awareness that all you have is truly enough, and you need not think that you don't have enough, and you think that it's a decision that you can make and you can freely share with others. That is a point, and I'll not say that it's a number or it's a value, but it is actually a state of mind and mindfulness which we are all focusing in this. And the reason why it becomes all the more important is because when we look at our life, when we look at our homes, nowadays, there is a forced way of looking at things in a certain way by advertisement, by marketing, and we are so much led to believe that we will be happy if only. So this if only narrative is about if only I get the new car, if only I buy the new house, if only I get this, I get that, and mostly just like that rhyme which was there, that you know the mockingbird rhyme, that if the bird dies then we get something, and if only this happens then we buy and buy, and a lot of this was about buying things. But the point we are gravitating towards today is that there's no if only to happiness. Happiness is a state of mind which is right here, right now. And there's no need to buy a lot of things to reach that state of happiness because that's always accessible to us. Okay? A lot of times we find that people in their houses they have hoarded a lot of things, and I myself have to be blamed for this habit. Long time back, I started collecting a lot of stuff which was unneeded, and then I realized that there's not enough space for that in my house. So always remember that your home is a living space, your mind is a living space, not a storage space. So today's masterclass is all about freeing that space, clearing your space, whether it is space of your home, whether it is space of your mind, is about clearing all that. Because once we create that space, that is where the clarity is. Yeah. It's not about if only, it's not about buying stuff to make us happy, it's about clearing. And today's mindfulness masterclass is about that. And that clearing is also about understanding there's a huge difference between needs and wants. Okay? So there are needs what we need and wants what we want, but it's truly the needs that we need and may not be the want that is always a need. But there has to be clarity around both. I make myself rich by making my wants. That is the richness of mind, richness of mindfulness is what we are talking about. How we can create very, very rich state of mind, a prosperous state of mind, a growth mindset when we start focusing on the needs in life, the real needs, the needs for growth, the needs for love, the needs which are related to fulfillment and happiness. So that is what we are going to focus today, and we are going to share a wonderful meditation because it's all about the moments in life. Okay? So I read this somewhere where it was said that the most important things in life are not. So we have to remember that is the life and the moments of life, and these moments which create the beauty and happiness and bliss in life, and it's not the things. This is what is so important as a takeaway, especially at this stage, at this juncture, because this is the ninth session where we are talking about mindfulness. And in the midst of all the great sales and end of the reason sales that we are getting so much attracted to, the mindfulness is all about that the happiness doesn't lie in possession. Happiness lies in giving away. Happiness lies in service. And that's where we realize that the best things in life are not things. So, a very warm welcome to today's Sunday Masterclass. We share an important mindfulness practice with you. And this is a community that we have created, the Science of Mind Club, Pro Bono Club, which is for sharing the joy of giving with each other. And we kind of share ideas in the field of psychology, neurolinguistic programming, and mindfulness with all of you so that you can share it further. And maybe if you have an interesting point, feel free to share with the other community members. It's a pro bono initiative. There's no connection to any kind of a faith, any organization. The views that I'm expressing are my own. And the whole idea is the joy of giving, the joy of receiving. This is what this community is all about. And if you're still curious, there is a Google page. The previous scanner was about that page. And this is where we learn, apply, share, and transform the knowledge. It is about the joy of finding something out, experimenting with it, transforming our life, and helping others around us to transform. So, all it requires is to stay curious like a child who's always discovering new things and always curious to learn because learning is a lifelong. So, here we are today, and the topic for the day is very close to my heart, which is about mindful spending. And this spending can be in many different ways: spending your time, spending your attention, spending your resources, money being one of them. How do you want to spend it? And minimalism is a thought process which is so very important in this area. Where the whole concept of minimalism is that you don't require a lot of things to kind of really glorify your awareness. Minimalism is about understanding that wanting less is a far better blessing than having more. It is very important to realize that this prosperous state of mind is our natural state. It's not something that we do to ourselves by gaining something. So, I would like to start with a very, very counterintuitive thought um, today, which is from the whole practice of Zen. And this is about a concept that they have in the Zen Buddhism, which is called hungry ghosts. So, a lot of time they are symbolizing the hungry ghosts, which means that many a times there are beings which are tormented by insatiable cravings, suffering, and all they have with them is a hunger. Okay, so they're symbolized in the art and the artistry, like with large bellies, small mouths. All it is about is this whole idea of that we are getting so rooted in this suffering of always longing for something, insatiable craving. So all it means is that there is a suffering. There is a like the Buddhists say that in the realms of samsara, the cycle of birth, suffering and dukkha is inevitable. Okay, this is a particular kind of a suffering that starts from clinging to things that may bring us temporary satisfaction or relief. So it can be greed, it can be food, it can be anything. So whenever somebody is hoarding a lot of things, whenever we are attached, accumulating, Buddhists say that it is like squirrels accumulating acorns for winter. All that accumulation is like a hungry ghost, and it is a form of a suffering. And science did prove all this because we know that when people are, let's say, in a pattern of overeating or overspending or chronic gambling, all of that has got an undercurrent of depression in it. There is a dukkha or a sadness that lies, and we're trying to fulfill that sadness in the external world. Whereas what is really required for us is to connect with ourselves, which is a source of unlimited joy. Okay? And when we are not mindful about the simplicity of this very, very simple realization, that is where we turn ourselves into hungry ghosts. It is important for us to take a pause and realize that all you need is less. All you need is be connected with yourself. Okay? Observe your patterns. So we'll do an exercise to observe our patterns. We will observe that how some of the areas in our life, maybe we are accumulating something, or there are patterns which are going out of control. Because see, that's the only way we can break a pattern. The first thing that we need to do is we need to observe a pattern to break the pattern. So let's get into this. And as we sit there and relax, you can keep both your feet on the ground or you can sit comfortably. Just lower your gaze. And we meditate on this idea of minimalism. We meditate on this idea of mindfully spending our time, our resources, our attention. Let's be mindful about this idea of being mindful. Minimalism. All you need is less. Take a deep breath, hold it for a few seconds, and let it go. Another deep breath, hold it a little longer, and let it go. We'll take yet another deep breath into ourselves. Hold it mindfully and let it go like a cloud drifting in the sky. You have arrived to this mindful moment. You are at home with yourself. This is a space of total contentment, satisfaction, being aware are enough, being aware all the patterns that run you are not you, being aware that the best things in life are not things, and even the best of the things you think are the best things can't take with you. So let this moment be a moment of awareness, moment of insight that we are enough, we are already satisfied, and we have great joy and happiness which is available to us in unlimited quantities within us, not outside us. And the only way to increase this contentment is generosity. And understanding that just like travelers on the way, we are passing by life and we are the beings of kindness, empathy, light, and love. And these things are in unlimited quantity with us, share with others. You are enough. You have enough. And the more you share all these qualities, things with others, will get more and more happiness and bliss. Reminds me a story of a monk. This monk was a traveling monk and he used to travel from one place to another. And he reached a very, very wise old man's house. So the young monk was always curious to kind of visit wise people, wise teachers. And when he came to know that there is this wise man, the old wise man in this village, he was curious and motivated to meet him. What he didn't realize is that he will be getting a life lesson meeting this wise old man. So he approached this old man's house and he expressed his thought of meeting this gentleman. And very, very promptly he was escorted to the inner quarters of the wise old man. But the monk was surprised to see that in his house there was no object like a furniture, and this man was comfortably sitting on the ground. So the monk asked the wise old man, "Hey, where is your furniture, wise old man? What happened to all of that?" So instead of answering that question, the wise old man asked the question back. He asked to the monk, "Where is yours? Where is your furniture?" So the monk replied, "I have no furniture because I'm just passing by. I'm a traveler." The wise old man replied, "So am I. We all are travelers. We all are just passing by the journey of life. And all what we can do is just connect with each other with kindness, happiness, love, generosity, contentment. Happiness has no price tag. It is available to us anytime. You are. This attitude of mindfulness and minimalism is not about worldly attachment. It is about understanding that there lies this calmness, equanimity, state of fulfillment that is available to all of us at all the time. You are enough. Breath, stay in your mind. You are enough. All you need is less. Share with generosity, connect with love, and you can manifest a lot of happiness and bliss in your life. We can experience the joy of giving and contentment at any point in time. So remember, giving is a great source. Let's bring this awareness back. Let's take a deep breath. Remember the learnings, let go of the emotion. Okay, and center yourself back. The room, back in the Zoom, back on your focused everyday attention. And always remember that this kind of a mindful state is always accessible to us. We need not search it anywhere else. It's always accessible to us. And whenever you find a pattern which is going out of control, like spending, overspending, eating, overeating, you interrupt that pattern with a mindfulness exercise, mindful breathing, and you think that is it really required? Does my answer lie in the box of chocolates or a box of food? Or is it just that I'm feeling dehydrated and I can just take a sip of water, just move around, take a deep breath, and feel okay about it? Observe your patterns, observe the way how you are spending your attention, spending your energies, spending your resources somewhere. And wherever you find a pattern that has gone out of control, take that pause. Whole series is all about taking that pause. Mindfulness is all about that pause. Whenever we bring that pause in our life, we become all the more reflective. We become all the more aware at how we are spending our attention. And the key message that I want to share with you today is always remember that it's not that we will get a lot of things and then we will be happy. We do not need 20 of such things to make us happy, or if only I can get a two cars or three two-wheelers. No, it's not required. All what we require is this understanding that happiness is a choice, mindfulness is a choice. In Hindi, we have a word called sahaj, which means a normal way of being. So I got to read this word in one of my conversations with one of my master coaches, and he said that, Anupam, When was the last time you took life as sahaj, which means when was the last time you truly connected with life in a childlike manner? That is what is called, that's what was the meaning of the word sahaj. And the second most important word is santushti or satisfaction. Satisfaction doesn't mean that we are completely in possession. Satisfaction means that we receive with open heart and we share with an open heart. That is what satisfaction is. It's the wisdom of generosity, I would say. When we realize that we are truly enough, that is where we get that satisfaction. And as we started the discussion, that it is not an amount or a value, but it is a state of mind. To always understand that less is more or enough. So I think that's how we have built this mindfulness series, brick by brick, session by session, where we started with the mindful awareness exercises, kind of bring ourselves back everyday attention to a more mindful awareness. And it was required, I would say, because nowadays there's a lot of stress. The reason why we are doing these mindfulness exercises is because we realize that coming home is all about understanding that we can bring our awareness back to the present moment, which is home. Then we also understood that there is a way of breathing which is very helpful for us for calming ourselves down, bringing down the anxiety level. If you remember, it was the slow, low breathing, the box breathing that we taught in the second class. Very important exercise. And then we kind of built it with a compassion exercise, because compassion is not a gift that we are giving to others, it's a gift that we give to ourselves. Okay? And there were a lot of these takeaways, a lot of these inputs and insights that I shared on the third masterclass, which is on compassion. Fourth lesson was all about letting go, leaving the baggage, leaving everything that weighs you down. When you leave and let go of the baggage, you become free. So that letting go meditation was in the fourth lesson that we have shared. And from the fifth lesson onwards, it becomes all the more practical for us, because the fifth one was about mindful eating. And in a way is also related with today's concept where, like hungry ghost people are getting caught up in the traps of um, insatiable desires. So how do we break those patterns of overeating was there in our lesson 5, mindful eating. Lesson 6 was about the mindful activity of mindful walking. It was like a walking yoga that we discussed. So that was in our lesson 6. Lesson 7 is about being really, really aware and attentive about where our attention is lying. That mindful attention. That is what we shared in the lesson 7. Lesson 8 was a very, very important exercise of finding that me time or mindful relaxation. You're running, but you're not resting, and you're everywhere in the world, but you're not at home with yourself. That mindful resting is what we discussed in our last session. And today we kind of bring it to a full circle about minimalism, about its understanding that we are enough, less is more. So these 9 masterclasses, we have shared some very powerful concepts which are well curated, well researched, and I've got them as some of the golden nuggets from my coaches and mentors, and I feel this joy of sharing when I share this with you. And I hope that you found all these 9 takeaways really useful. And with the same joy, you will be sharing it with others, all those who need it. Feel free to use the content in any form. I'm just saying because, see, these are the time tested values and time tested learnings, and nobody can say that they have a copyright on them. So I would say that please feel free to use it in any shape and form. Only intention that I want to hold is that we share it with the joy of giving, and we share it with a lot of love and compassion to make people's life better. So if you have that intention, I'm more than happy and okay to let you use all this. And finally, I would also like to say that the last workshop on this, or the last session on this series, is going to be really, really amazing. If you have enjoyed this series of mindfulness masterclass till now, look ahead for the 10th one, which is going to be the best of all in the series, which will be like, putting that final piece of the puzzle together. And I would appreciate if we can have more live audiences and some live Q&A for that. Although we are planning to do a Q&A session pretty soon, but that is where we'll share that what is the most important mindfulness meditation, and I'll introduce you to that in the next class next Sunday. And that is something very, very important. I'll not reveal the surprise, but look ahead for that. And I think that will be one of the greatest takeaways from this particular masterclass series. Thank you so much for your time. What I will also say is that the journey ahead is full of excitement. We will be doing a Q&A session after the next week. In fact, next Saturday is when we are also doing super confidence building workshop, which I'll just share in some time. So take care of your loved ones, take care of your parents, share these learnings, keep on learning. And with this gratitude, I would like to share that we are doing this masterclass. You can scan the QR code. If you haven't registered, you can register for this. It's 9:30 p.m. on Saturday. Next Saturday, or 4 p.m. UK time is when we are doing it. And you will find some amazing takeaways from self-hypnosis area, which I'll be sharing with you all. And this is about building for confidence like food. Okay. So on that note, thank you so much for your patient listening. I look forward to your participation in the final class of the mindfulness meditation, and I'll be more than happy to share the final takeaway in this. Thank you so much. You have a great day ahead, and till we meet again, take care of yourself. Bye bye.